DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Hello, hello, and welcome again to DJNTV and tonight's Presenter Spotlight. Presenter Spotlight is all about the DJNTV DJ show in coordination with the Photo Booth Expo, February 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th in Las Vegas, Nevada at the South Point Hotel. Boo! It's going to be amazing. The presenters, there are so many that if I went and made a list of them right now, we'd have no time to talk to the guy we have here today. Dave Ternier is
great. See ya.
I hope you all brought your Canadian to American dictionaries with you, because we are going to be talking to Dave. And Dave is just one of those really extraordinary people that I've gotten to know. And he has made some amazing strides in his business over the last 5-10 years, and not only that, but given back to the industry in such a way that it's helped to create a stronger bond in the associations of other disc jockeys and colleagues just up there in the Canadian and up in Canada, much less the United States. And he's going to be speaking on I believe it's, oh my gosh, I just had it written down here, I think Tuesday, no, Monday. Where am I? Where's my notes? Okay, no, it's Monday at 3 o'clock.
Yes, I get to sleep in.
His presentation will be word of mouth, and I want to talk about that a little bit. I don't know that we have to talk too much about it. Really, I think the biggest reason people like to step into these presenter spotlights about the speakers we're going to have at the Photo Booth Expo and DJNTV show in Las Vegas this year is they want to get to know the person, because one of the things we're doing here with this show is we're showing you that these conferences, you know, sometimes you come to them and you see these people up on stage and you see the successes they have and the things they have to share, and then they seem unapproachable, and that's just not the case. So we've made it, John and I wanted to make sure that this was something that you got from the very beginning, that any of these people are completely, they're just us. They're us, man. They just have some things to share. Now, granted, Dave's a really smart guy, and he's got a lot of really great things to share. But I'll tell you one thing: he might look impressive on stage, and he feel like you can't approach the guy, but he's probably one of the most approachable people I've ever met. So anyway, Dave, thanks for being a part of the show.
Oh, hi.
I'll let you talk now.
Well, it's a truly an honor to do this with you and to be getting ready for the show. First time I get to speak in Vegas, which is pretty exciting.
I know.
I've been going to the Vegas shows for 9 years. This will be year number 10, and I'm really.
The city of Nevada has been told that you're on your way, so they're making some changes.
Oh, you called them too? So did I.
They have to know.
Yeah, no. I really appreciate how you started this with the goal in mind to communicate to everybody that the presenters are super approachable and what have you. I mean, that's always been my experience, but then again, my personality is one of maybe taking rejection. Okay, so I mean, I'll go up and talk to anybody and whatever. And if they don't talk to me, whatever. I'm cool with that.
I said no to him like 50 times, and he just kept
right. Yeah. Bill, on the other hand, is a different story.
Oh yeah, but, talk to my people. Don't come near me. It's in my rider.
But I will say this: if before I get on the plane to Vegas, if I could have breakfast, lunch, and dinner scheduled with different people before I go, with people I haven't met that would be a perfect conference to me. So if you're listening, watching to this, if you need any more evidence that I'm super approachable, shoot me a message. Let's schedule breakfast, lunch. If you're scheduling breakfast with me, though, I might be riding a bike at that time. Just
wait
like
a minute.
small.
Wait a minute. You're bringing a bike to Vegas?
This small part of me like wants to figure out how I could go for a ride every morning.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know that's entirely possible.
Well, sure it is. You could rent something, I'm sure.
I know, but what am I going to do? Like trucking it through the South Point Hotel and Casino up to my hotel room, though? I mean,
absolutely. That's exactly where you're going to do it. Every morning, I want to see you zipping between all the casino slot machines, trying not to knock down the old ladies.
Oh, God.
I want to see, and put a video camera on your helmet, because I'll be watching that video every single day.
Oh, that would be a fun Facebook Live.
So, Dave, tell me a little bit about you. How you grew up in Canada, small town boy, right? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in the middle of the prairies, heart of the prairies, Saskatchewan. I'm a farm kid. Both my wife and I are farm kids, and kind of grew up a little bit in the middle of nowhere. Well, if you get to the middle of nowhere, just another few miles.
It's where you came from.
That's where I came from. Yeah. I was born overseas, but grew up in Canada. I was born in the Netherlands, and just always had a connection to that country and EDM music because of that and all that type of stuff. But yeah, I grew up in the prairies, farm kid, and then partway along the way, discovered something fun about music.
Well, how did that happen? I mean, you're a farm kid, man. You're out there, you're working. You can't be a farm kid and not have your mom and dad having you work the farm. Okay, so when did that happen? How did that happen?
Work the farm we did. Saturday mornings all winter long, hauling wood so we could heat the house. How did it happen?
Yeah.
I was visiting family in the Netherlands, where I was born in the summer of '97.
Okay.
And I happened to play some music. My aunt and uncle at the time were a professional singing duo. This was their full-time living. They didn't write original music, but they covered other people's music, and they earned a very healthy living. They lived in the nice part of town. They had the bathroom that's the size of my current house, that jazz. and I had my uncle Erik had showed me all of his gear. He had a massive sound system. He had just spent like 20 grand on a Martin lighting system, top of the line, in 1997. And I thought this was the coolest stuff in the world. So we set it up in the neighbor's driveway, and I played music for this little the birthday party that the neighbors were having. I was like, this is fun. Like, this is wow. So get home after that summer trip, and I convinced two buddies. I'm like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I know we're only 16 years old, but I think we should wire our house stereos together and offer to do elementary school dances in the afternoons for like $100. We're gonna be rich. And
you wired your home stereo systems together.
You know what? And I have two of those original speakers still sitting right there. I have a pair of house stereo speakers. Optimus was the brand, cheap Radio Shack kind, and then and then I had the Premier ones as well. I had some Techniques speakers that were just to die. Oh my God! So that's what we did.
So record collection, CD. What were you using?
Oh, CD collection.
CD. Okay. And it's just everybody's collection together, or did you give some thought to going out and finding things?
It was everybody's collection together at first, all three of us. And then when we had scratched together like our first $1,000 or $1,200 or whatever it was, we took that money that we had earned and we went and bought a set of Power Tracks, which was one of the libraries.
Gosh, I remember the Power Tracks.
Yeah, you can get back in the day. Tracks, TRAKKS, I think.
KKX or XXS.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, that was kind of, once we had that, then we knew we could start doing other events because, like we didn't know who the hell is, Seeger. Like, what the hell's a Seeger? Oh, that's an artist. Oh, we didn't know that. So once we had that collection, though, we were like, made it. And we started doing all kinds of things.
So do you remember your first paid gig?
It likely would have been.
No, I'm saying, do you remember it? What do you remember about it? What was the one that you remember that you can say, okay, I was there, I remember it. I'm going to plant my flag, and that's the show.
Well, probably old Air Cadet dances.
What?
air cadets, like, those air cadets, sea cadets, Army cadets, right? As a kid, you can get involved in those programs.
Oh, okay. Over here, like the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts.
No, not Boy Scouts. This is, maybe you don't have this in the States. I don't know. So here in Canada, yeah, there's Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, but funded by the military are also, you can join air cadets or sea cadets or Army cadets. And as young as 11 or 12 years old, it's just like Boy Scouts. You meet up once a week. They teach you drill. They teach you all kinds of, life skills and that type of thing. And it's completely free to attend because it's all funded by the military. And I had a bunch of friends who were in air cadets. And, one or two of them went on to, pursue, flight careers and that type of thing out of it. But they would always have Halloween dances. They would have a couple of dances a year. And I was never in air cadets, but a lot of my friends were. And so obviously, me and my two buddies would play the dances. And, we would spend like 3 hours setting up this, dinky little truss in this flat. Oh, God. Whoo, yeah. It was fun. But
Wow.
that was, that kind of told me this is really fun and this could be a thing. But
Well, yeah.
it was never more than a part-time thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you're a farm boy, and mom and dad, I'm sure, looked at DJing and goes, "What are you're really going to go out and be a great DJ and make some money, right?"
Right.
They didn't. They probably
Right.
probably were encouraging you somewhere else, I'm assuming.
Yeah, mom and dad, and it's funny because as you grow further and further into adulthood, you have these conversations with your parents. But they really kind of just let us kids do our thing. They really, good decisions and bad, they really wanted us to learn for ourselves. So they really, I don't remember them saying much about it, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't think anybody ever took it seriously. And full disclosure, I probably didn't either until maybe a decade, 12 years ago, when I realized this could be something.
Well, what were you doing for real money until you decided that you wanted to do this for real?
Well, after graduation, I was working at a video rental store. You remember those were a thing. And
I've never heard of that before. I don't know if I'm old enough to remember. But go ahead, keep going.
And then I worked at and then assistant managed a movie theater for a while, which was a blast. Splicing film together till 4:00 in the morning every Thursday night, so that the new release for Friday could roll. It was a lot of fun. And then it was Walmart Electronics for a year, and then transitioned into the furniture world, where I spent 4 or 5 years and really missed that world. It was a lot of fun, furniture.
Selling furniture.
Started out delivering. I applied cold out of the blue, said, "Hey, you got any sales jobs open?" "No, but I like you. How about you come deliver for me for a while and I'll see if I can transition you into sales."
All right.
So I delivered for like a year or 2 years and then transitioned into sales. And that was a riot. It was an absolute blast.
What was it you liked about it?
You know what? People are going to laugh. I love the romance of furniture. I love the way furniture makes you feel. I love the cosmetics that you can find in the fine detail of furniture. I mean, even to this day, I'm still a geek about it. Catherine will laugh. I'll walk into maybe a client's house if I'm meeting them at their house or something like that, and I'll go, "That's an Ashley T233-8 coffee table, right?" And I mean, I'm nearly showing the door. But it's, I don't know. I loved something about it. I mean, furniture becomes a pretty personal part of people's lives as well, right? And I didn't work at, your run-of-the-mill chain, inexpensive furniture store. We were kind of a mid to high-end store. So we were able to develop more of a relationship with our customers in that environment. And, even to this day, there's people like Rudy and his wife, Judy, who, I haven't seen in 15 years, but I still remember them. And I remember, a lot of what they bought when they built a new house and they came to us. And so it was a lot of fun. I strongly considered staying in it, but then life took me this way, and here we are today.
Well, I think it's really interesting, and I think that anybody who watches these things or thinks about their own, because I think a lot of people can relate to where you came from and what you did. I mean, a lot of our first gigs were exactly that sort of thing, and I find it really, it doesn't surprise me because I've known you for a long time, but it doesn't surprise me that you had the same feeling about what you were doing for people in sales before you even got to selling what you do for a living now. I mean, it's very, very interesting. I mean, I know a lot of people that worked in sales of appliances, electronics, and furniture.
Yeah.
My last sales job was baby furniture. Okay. And it was awful for me because all I saw was the desperation necessary to be able to talk two people who couldn't afford it into something really expensive so that I could get the kind of commission necessary to make my rent. Whereas you saw exactly what people are looking for in furniture. Nobody wants to buy a couch. They want a couch that makes them feel that romance that you were able to see in their eyes and their hearts. Now you take that information. Now that's something just to learn right here in this video. Okay, we don't go any further. Take that today, because people aren't looking to buy DJ stuff. They don't want to have a DJ at their party. They just don't. They want to have something else. And you can provide the thing they really want if you take the time to really see it, hear it, and feel it, which is what you were doing early on in a business that a lot of people didn't even do there. That's very interesting to me.
Yeah, and you're right about that business, and not a lot of people doing that. And let's be honest, I realized more of this in hindsight, of course, than I did in the moment. Because in the moment, I was in early 20s, something or other, right? But Marty Friedrich, who was our head salesperson there, he excelled at this. I mean, one could argue he didn't make a sale to anybody that wasn't his friend, because by the time it came to that part of the transaction, I mean, they were stopping in to Battleford Furniture to see Marty, even if they weren't looking for something. They would just stop in to visit with him and say hi. Mm-hmm. And it was incredible, the relationships that he developed with people. And, to the point where they wouldn't question his price on, I remember one guy in particular. Sorry, we're getting off on a tangent here.
No, I like this. This is very good. This is exactly what we want to hear.
I remember one fella back when plasma TVs, the flat screen TVs first came out. We were a Panasonic
when they were
dealer.
This big.
Yeah,
this thick.
Yeah. We had the Panasonic line in the store, and one of Marty's regular faithful clients, fairly well off, this type of thing. They bought one of our first 42-inch Panasonic plasma TVs for, I think it was just over $8,000. And tragically, a year and a bit later, the man was coming to the end of his life quite unexpectedly, and he stopped in to see Marty and what have you. And they got talking about product and yada yada yada, because Gary always liked to know what was new and hot, and he saw the price of 42-inch TVs had dropped to about $2,400-$2,500 now, right? And Marty said, "By the way, man, I really feel bad, that I feel bad, that he's like, you know what? Why do you feel bad?" He says, I bought the enjoyment that I got out of that for a year and a half before anybody else could. And boy, it sure made, these last days of my life pretty incredible.
Right. And there's the quote to remember. He bought the enjoyment of the television. He didn't buy the television.
Right.
He paid $8,000 for the year's worth of enjoyment.
Exactly.
And if you could have got that out of a dead cat, he would have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's something to be learned here when you're looking at communicating the value of what you're providing for your clients right there. Now you were DJing still kind of part-time then.
Yeah, just weekend warrior stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and in that time, why did you choose to go, okay, well, maybe I'll, and when did you choose to say this? Maybe I'm going to give this a go as a real thing.
Well, I had to quit it first.
Yeah. To quit the DJing.
Yeah. So when my girlfriend at the time, when her job prompted us to change provinces, we ended up moving 8 hours away from home. And I'm like, all right, enough of this, weekend warrior crap, showing up at, 8:30, haul my gear in quick. Sorry, excuse me. I know you're eating dinner, play music, go home at 1, go, what was their name again? Don't care. Next gig, right? I'm like, okay, enough of that noise. I'm probably going to get married to this girl, probably going to have a family. Time for a real career. Because I didn't even look at furniture sales as a real career when I was that young, which is really too bad looking back. But anyway, so we moved out here and quit the DJ business, and I got into the home building business because I'd never swung a hammer in my entire life, but I was going to tell people how to build houses.
So wait. You never swung a hammer, so let's do that.
Right.
Like, I've never been an acrobat, so I think I'm going to be a professional acrobat today.
But I talked my way into the job because I had this furniture sales experience, and this place wanted to get into maybe selling homes at some point. So they were like, okay, we'll get you in the door here. Right.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, and that's how it happened. Now, that's not how it ended, of course, because it became pretty apparent that I didn't know nothing about building. So, yeah, long story short, in that first year of quitting, though, I ended up meeting some local DJs, and I ended up because now I'm the new kid in town. Nobody knows who I am, right? So I've come from the community, the area that I grew up in. Everybody knows Dave Ternier. Nobody questions Dave Ternier's doing
all 800
right.
people know you.
Right, exactly. 20-ish thousand.
Yeah.
And so now I'm in a new place where nobody knows me. I think to myself, I don't know if I've ever told you this before. I think to myself, gee, I better make sure I'm doing things legit. So I joined one of the national DJ associations here to find out if I'm doing everything legit. Turns out I needed this and I needed this, and then I'm good. Well, I ended up meeting some incredible people through there. Brian Pudwerney and I rapidly became great friends. And, he ended up bringing up the idea of, hey, I think we should get into emceeing weddings. And after I laughed at him and told him that's a foolish thing to even suggest, obviously came around on that one. And he and I then traveled this road together, attending workshops, attending conferences, racing each other to the top. It was an absolute gangbusters. Like, I'd go up 200, he'd go up 4. I'd go up 5. It was just this constant. We were constantly trying to beat each other on price. And I'd like to use that phrase because I think it means something a lot more powerful and a lot more fun that way. Most oftentimes DJs hate it when they get beat on price. Oh no, not Ryan and I. We were.
It was more expensive.
Right. It was the game to see if one could charge more than the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened about a decade ago. And that's kind of where my world exploded. And
so if not for Brian Pudwerney, we would not have to be dealing with you. So we have to blame Brian Pudwerney for you being in this business at all, or you would be, selling furniture. Yeah,
that's probably accurate. And he's a good guy. He takes responsibility for that. I mean, he knows. I mean, he's made better life choices since then, but
I should hope so. So now, here you are. You're exploring the world of DJing and the wedding business beyond the idea that we're going to be getting on a stage and showing off and getting paid. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it takes you all over the world, especially with the internet happening the way it was, and cell phones the way they were going. You had a world to be able to look through another lens and to find new things. And somewhere along the line, that education kept putting you here and here and here. And now you are one of those people in that country right now, the entire country, that if I bring up your name, they go, I know that guy. Yeah, that's a guy. That's the guy I want to be. I know you can make a face if you want, but I talked to a lot of DJs all over the world. And I've talked to DJs from the West Coast of Canada, the East Coast of Canada, all the way over. I've talked to a lot of people. And if I say, who do you know? One of the first names out of their mouth is Dave Ternier. Whether or not they know you personally, they know about you because of what you've created and the kind of person you are. And now, being responsible for helping to build an amazing association with the CPDJA and all the things that are going on there. Everything you touch, you do with such care and love that it grows and you raise people up well before you raise yourself up. And that's difficult, weird things for you to hear people say. And I know you wouldn't say it, so that's why I am.
Oh, thank you.
That's one of the reasons why it's so exciting that you're going to be speaking. I've seen you speak on this topic, word of mouth, and a lot of that showed up just now. If you were really listening during this meeting, during our little talk here, a lot of that showed up here. If you were listening carefully about how word of mouth can help to not only shape your career, but shape the people that you serve on a regular basis. Am I right?
Yeah. And I want to say just, I appreciate the compliments and such. I really hope that in the not too near future, there's nothing unique and special about me in this country. There are a lot of really talented entertainers in this country who I look up to and who are really, really incredible. And I hope
that's why I'm always surprised to hear your name, because there's a lot more people that I find way
well,
more talented than you.
Well, I'm just the idiot that gets talked into volunteering and doing a lot of stuff. But I truly, I mean, you know, people who excel at specific styles of, you know, in my case, wedding entertainment in the mobile DJ world. And when it comes to the MC work and all that type of thing, I really hope that this becomes as commonplace as anything up here. I mean, not all DJs do MC weddings up here. For all of the American viewers right now, that's just not as, it's becoming more common now, which is wonderful. But yeah, I hope there are many people in this country who deserve to have, you know, their names being spoken aloud. And you know what? Everybody's at different places in their life. Not everybody can give as much. I'm in a fortunate position where I have the will and the desire and the energy to give a little bit. So I'm giving of my time to a variety of different causes. The CPDGA being the one that I do give the most to right now.
You have a very interesting blog too. If people haven't checked it out yet, DJThought.com.
DJThought.com. Yeah.
He's a great writer, and there's a lot of stuff there that you share. That it's a hidden gem, and not a lot of people know about it. And I remember when you first began writing it and worried that you weren't a very good writer, and I just shook my head going, oh, okay, I just what I really should have done is said, you know, let me tell you how I can make you better. But I mean, you're so good at it, okay, and a lot of it has to do with what I was saying before. I think the best of those people, the best of the DJs, the best of the wedding planners, the people who are in any industry, the ones that are spoken of the most and the ones that excel quickest are the ones that are trying to raise those around them up, not just their colleagues and their clients, their colleagues, their community, everything about it. They're of service. It is a life of service can mean a lot of things to a lot of people.
Yeah,
and
it certainly can.
You do a really good job of showing that. Plus, you know, as I have always said to you and to as many leaders as I can talk to, you know, your number one job is to create other leaders. And you've done a really good job at that. And you continue to do that effortlessly.
Well, it is not without effort. I will argue that. And there's and honestly, like when it comes to the association, I mean, we have an incredible team of people, you know, be it my fellow executive community members, be it the board members, or be it, you know, the boots on the ground, the regional team leaders who are hosting events in their regions. I mean, we've just got a really incredible group of people. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to be speaking at the Disc Jockey News Convention, the Disc Jockey News TV Convention. It's going to be really, really wonderful. And as you mentioned, I'm going to be speaking on a topic that's near and dear to me. I mean, I built my business. For anybody that's seen my horrendously outdated website, you'll know this is true. I built my business on word of mouth. I did not build my business, get to the pricing that I work at you know, through any other means. And it always, you know, we just ran a big survey with the CPDGA ahead, I should say just at the end of last year, you know, ahead of 2020, what are you most looking to improve come the new year? And the number one thing people said was their marketing. And I always find that so interesting because that's one facet, yes, but, you know, I don't know why leveraging word of mouth, doing specific things to really impact word of mouth, I don't know why that gets overlooked so often. It's
well, I think people don't see it as marketing, and the truth of it is, and you know as well as I do, that everything we do, everything that comes out of our mouth, everything we wear, anything we do in front of anybody is our marketing. And without the stuff that you create for ads, I mean, you can have that to maybe get in front of somebody new, but honestly, everybody wants to have most of their business come from word of mouth. They do. Yet they don't know how to do that because they think that they have to follow this. I need to buy an ad. I need to put it online. I need to get a magazine. I need to, you know what I'm saying?
I think
that's the way it's been.
I think most people are something that's just very passive about word of mouth, right? True. They just expect word of mouth to happen. And
it does to a point.
And it does to a point. Yeah, they're not necessarily wrong, but there are I mean, what I've done in coming up with this presentation, which I've been, you know, blessed to give once before, and I can't wait to I've got some things I need to update and modify for the presentation this coming month. But what I did in creating that was I went out and flagged what I believe to be those key things that are what contribute to the fact that I have gotten so much word of mouth over the years.
Mhm.
So what I intend to do is kind of dive into those things, the why I do those things, because I don't necessarily do them for word of mouth, but the byproduct of those things many times is incredible word of mouth. And yeah, let me tell you, when word of mouth is how an inquiry came to you, half the sales job is already done. So
more than half.
If this doesn't interest you, I hope I can change your mind.
I completely agree. And
really looking forward to it.
It's and what he has to share is very valuable, because I mean, especially if you come to it knowing, you know, I get word of mouth and, you know, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But if you can shake loose of the idea that word of mouth is just something you trip across, and can take even 10 minutes to lean into this conversation, you're going to hear even just one idea around how to create that. It can literally change not only your business, but your community around you and the kind of people that talk about you. And he doesn't have just one thing. Okay. You'll be taking notes furiously in this little presentation, because there's lots of great ideas that are easily implemented. It's just that, you know, you're going to have your own brainy stuff about it. You know, it's like, how do I go and ask people for word of mouth?
If I can do it, anybody can do it. Sorry, Bill, when did you say I'm speaking?
Monday, 3 o'clock.
Brilliant. You know what's incredible about that is Monday at 3 o'clock, when, you know,
when I wake up,
you who is watching this, if anything jumps out at you, like, what in the, I never thought of that. We have got all day Tuesday. Well, we got Monday night, we got all day Tuesday, we got all day Wednesday to talk about it. There's gonna be a chill room area where I intend on spending a lot of my free time when I'm not on the bike. So, and by the way, if you don't fly out till Thursday night like I do, I'm gonna go cycling out in Red Rock Conservation Area. So you should come with me. Hit me up.
Me?
I'm not talking to you right now, Bill. It's not always about you. It's not always about you, Bill.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I set you up for that. Oh my Lord. Okay, so there you go. It is a great presentation, and Dave is not kidding when he says he's available. Okay. I know for a fact, you finish here, you look for Dave on Facebook, you friend him, he'll friend you back. You send him a message, he'll talk to you. He'll give you his telephone number if you don't mind calling Canada and spending $15 a minute to talk to him. He'll do it, okay? This is the kind of human being that this is. And one of the things that I like about this entire show is John has done a really good job of picking and choosing those speakers that are not only really knowledgeable, but are those people that are literally there to give back to the community. Okay. I mean, yeah, there's, you know, there are other guys that are giving back to the community, and also monetarily sometimes they're being paid for it.
Yeah.
But they're really there first and foremost to see this happen for you, just for you. I mean, I got a workshop. You can take my workshop, but there's not one question that anybody would ever ask me that I wouldn't just answer. You want it? Yeah. Here it is. Okay. If you would like to pay me too, I got a thing, but if you really got the time, I'll tell you everything you want to know. Dave's like that, and every single person on the track of speakers, and way more speakers than he's ever going to be able to pile into another one of these shows ever, is happening at this thing, and it's happening February the 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's at the South Point Hotel, and it's a little bit off the strip, but it's a really nice hotel. Lots of cool things out there. And I don't really think, Dave, you're going to have too much of a problem finding places to ride with your bike. I really don't. It's not like you're going to be zipping around on the strip and trying to keep away from, you know, people giving you cards to go see a young woman without their clothes on. It's not that sort of a thing. It's a really nice place. And I know people are trying to decide, do I go to Vegas in February? Do I go to Vegas in March? First of all, people who ask me that, look, I'm going to both. Okay. There's value in every one of them. Okay. You're going to get everything you need out of everything you go to. It's not about the speakers as much as about the fact that you come open to something that can be open to you. You do that at a conference, you're going to get everything you need about it. Now, the guys that are freaked out about money, okay, well, February is going to be a little less expensive than March. Why? Well, because in March you've got St. Patrick's Day, and you've got the NCAA basketball tournaments, which all by itself, if you're a sports guy, awesome, right? That's going to be great. In February, not as much going on in Las Vegas, so that the flights are cheaper and the hotels are cheaper and all those things. And if it's the first time you've been to a conference and you're worried about the money, this is the great thing. But I would really challenge you to not just do one. Okay, go to one. A few weeks later, go to the other one, because you're going to get to a place where you're going to. It's the community of those people that John and I are trying to create, that are going to have you wanting to be around those people again. What's on stage? Look, you can always find something unbelievably unique on stage of every speaker you talk to, no matter if you're in a DJ conference or a conference about concrete, okay? But it's these connections that you are unafraid to reach out to. And it's really on you guys. You guys come, I'm approachable, but I'm not necessarily out there looking for you, because I'm out looking, for who I know too.
I'm looking for you.
So
awesome. Can't wait to do this, Bill. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you for being a part of it. We're doing these presenter spotlights Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and next week you want to look up the schedule, great. But honestly, everybody we've talked to has been amazing. And Dave, thank you for being a part of this today, man. It's going to be awesome to see your presentation. I'm Bill Herman. This is DJNTV and Presenter Spotlight, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Cheers.